Hey, happy Wins Wednesday, the first Wins Wednesday of the year. I wanted to start with a story. When we got married, one of my husband's friends told me Air Force men make great housewives. He was absolutely correct. And this is important, but probably not for the reason that you think. So my husband, John, is one of the cleanest, neatest people I have ever lived with, from college all the way through. Actually, even when I was a kid, my house wasn't this clean. And it's pretty cool. But at that point in my life, it kind of made me crazy because I'd been a single mom for a while. I had teenage boys and big dogs and chaos and mayhem all over the house all the time. And that was what I was used to. But I quickly found that there is a lot to be said for imposing a little bit of order and some good habits on all of that chaos and mayhem. And as it turned out, that teenage boy I was raising is now a second lieutenant in the Army Reserves and is almost as neat as his stepdad when he wants to be. So why is this important? Because there is brilliance in the basics. You may remember Admiral McRaven's viral video about making your bed. If you want to change the world, start off by making your bed. I recently heard a story on NPR's Life Kit. They were talking about Master Sergeant Kevin Frazier, whose job it was to take very messy 17-year-olds and turn them into Marines. And part of that job was teaching them to clean their room, clean the barracks. And so he said, we teach brilliance in the basics. If your room is clean, you are ready for anything. You start everything from a point of confidence. You know where all of your equipment is. You're not going to be sidelined by something small. Your morning routine is not going to be ruined by something that you should have had control over because you set it up the night before, and everything is exactly where you want it to be. And a hole in your sock is not going to ruin your day because you went through everything the night before, and you have everything under control. One more story. Vince Lombardi used to kick off training camp for the Green Bay Packers. And whether his team was all rookies or all Super Bowl champions, with the same syllabus. Gentlemen, this is a football. And he would follow with the most probably frustratingly mind-numbing basics of how to put on your socks properly. And all of the basics he would go through in training camp every single year. And his reason was a blister could ruin a practice. A ruined practice can cause a ruined game. So what do these three stories have in common? There is brilliance in the basics. Now, a lot of marketing consultants and things will teach you really cool tricks and teach you really fantastic things and show you how to use the latest software and do all of that neat stuff. But I'm here to tell you, every January, with every client, whether they've been with us for 15 years or whether it's our first day with a brand new client, we start with the basics. Everybody gets a 3-ring binder if they're in the US. If they're not in the US, of course, they get this digitally. But this has marketing maturity stages for aviation companies, and this is the basics and ground school checklist. And it's got things in here like, does your phone number work? Have you had somebody call it to see what the user experience is like? Is your voicemail full? Does the contact form on your website get checked regularly? What happens when somebody fills that out? What are those things that are the basics that can derail you, that can be that blister that ruins your Super Bowl game performance? These are things that no matter how good of an ad we run, if the phone number on it doesn't work, we've wasted a lot of money. If we bring a ton of people to your website and your contact form is broken or gives a bad experience in some way, we've just wasted a whole lot of money and time. And also we've given people a bad experience and we've impinged on your brand. We've done more harm than good. So it doesn't matter how brilliant a job we do at marketing if we don't have the basics covered. And so, that's why we start every year with those ground school milestones and action steps. We put that as a checklist that people can download. We put that as a checklist in their Basecamp so that we can go through it together and check everything off. The basics are just not as sexy as some of the really cool things that we can do, but gosh darn it, they need to be done. And January is a great time to do some house cleaning and to make sure that those basics are taken care of. And a lot of times we will find, as we're going through this checklist, there is something that's been holding you up, that's something that is super easy to fix and makes a huge difference to your results in marketing. So once again, I just want to leave you with a thought. There is brilliance in the basics, and checklists are magic. So we'll see you next week.